talk about some players that we think could stand out throughout this playoff. And I want to start with the guy who I talked about earlier in the season. He was my dark horse from Mr. Football. And like you said, Larry, you think he's the best wide receiver in the state. Corey Barber. The guy is freaking ridiculous. He had a ridiculous regular season. He turned so many people's heads. He's a ridiculous type of player, and he's just a dog, man. I think this is what you just had to describe him. He's gonna go and get it done. He's gonna make plays. When his team needs him to make a play, he's gonna make it. You can make an argument that he single-handedly beat Thompson in the second half when they played against Thompson, just with his ability to make plays on the offensive side of football in terms of Clay Chalkler needing to put up points. So Corey Barber is a guy that I would watch out for, and like we've said before we aired the show and before we start basically talking about things, there's nobody who's basically locked up the Mr. Football Award. So the award is still up for grabs. So basically the guys that we are highlighting now are going to be guys who are going to be able to make a name for themselves. So Corey Barber is a guy that I will watch out for. And I'm going to go to you next, Dex, and talk about who do you think to watch out for in terms of possibly taking on Mr. Football or just some players to know in this playoff.
Of course, for me, I would say Jaquez Wilson Watley. He hasn't really had to really dominate the way he had to last year so far. So they haven't really needed him to dominate, but when they did, he has. So I mean, he's 6'4", 240 now. He moves better. He's dominating on defense. He's still having 80, 97-yard touchdown run. So he's one of the guys I think that I like that could really make a difference and pour towards the Mr. Football. As far as another guy, is a younger guy that I like that's actually kind of molded after Jaquez is Nehemiah McCreary of Maplesville. He's 6'4", talked to his coach today. He says he's probably like 230 right now. So, I think they just now leaning on him a lot now. And it's the last week he had like a 206 yards just on 6 carries. Um, so he's another guy that I don't know if he's going to make a run for Mr. Football yet, but I think he's one of the guys that we need to look out for.
Yeah, I don't know. Throw it to you, Larry. Just talk about some of the guys you are looking forward to seeing, and just some guys you think people should pay attention to.
Yes, man. I'm gonna stay down here in the 251. I'm going to a guy who's gonna be dominant at Saban Field. Uh, Xavier Crowell, Alabama commit, 5-star running back. EJ has been this dominant since he's been a freshman, guys.
Yeah.
He has the size. His He has breakaway speed that I don't think most in 4A have not seen, and we seen that last year. This year he missed the opening game against Saraland, but he still accumulated 1,500 plus yards and 19 touchdowns. I do think he can make himself the absolute front runner for Mr. Football in this playoff run because they have a favorable schedule. Um, I'm saying he can get over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. He is dynamic. He is a threat to score every time he touches the ball. He had 336 yards and 3 touchdowns against St. Michael. He single-handedly almost beat them. Their last game of the season, he had 2 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it's just he's just ridiculous. He's dynamic, and I still think I know I put this tweet out. Him and Derrick Henry are probably the most dynamic running back recruits Alabama fans will see, and I'm banking on that. I know I sound crazy, Justin, but I'm banking on it, Justin. I'm banking on it.
You got a strong argument. You got a very, very strong argument there, for sure. I would say because I say this too. He's the best running back prospect if he does sign, which he's definitely going to do to get on recruitment. At least this how things are set up. He's going to be the best running back prospect they signed in a very, very long time. You almost, since Justice Haynes is not there anymore, I kind of like take him away a little bit. He's probably the best running back they've signed since Najee Harris, and that is saying a lot in terms of Alabama football, and they're just the running backs that they have developed. But that will do it for our wrap up here. In terms of basically going across the state, going at every classification and getting our thoughts. So, like we said at the beginning of this show, I know we didn't get an opportunity to talk about every team, but we talked about a lot of teams. And if you're you're going to get talked about as we continue to talk about the playoff as it continues to move forward. So we'll be back next week when the first round wraps up to talk about the second round of the Alabama High School Football State Championship playoffs. As always, I'm joined by Dexter Tolbert of Dex Preps, one of the most respected voices inside the state of Alabama when it comes to high school football and recruiting, as well as Larry Rudolph, one of the top emerging media personalities. It's so many things I can describe Larry in terms of just some of the stuff that he's doing when it comes to Alabama high school football and recruiting. So we definitely see what he's doing, and we definitely love the fact that we have him at Touch Alabama. But until next time, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.